Bestie Breakdown. You're watching Majesty Mike.
Welcome back, everybody, to Majesty Mike, Bestie Breakdown edition. Here we have actually a guest today, Rose Gold Blunt. Welcome to the pod.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, it's so lovely to see you.
It's so exciting to do this. I've never done a podcast before, so this is really fun.
It's very thrilling.
We're so excited to have you.
Yeah.
We've never had a guest on a Bestie Breakdown episode.
Yeah.
Really?
So you're our very first.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Usually Chris and I just banter on, but now you can join us with some hot topics.
Well, we're besties, so
Yeah,
know it.
why
just
not?
let's talk shit.
So you were just saying before we started that you're headed to LA tomorrow, is it?
Yes. Actually, I'm leaving tonight.
Oh,
wow.
shit.
Yeah, so I was like, and I actually, so I'm going to the finale filming of Drag Race.
That is so exciting.
That's
So
amazing.
this happened like a week ago. My friend was like, hey, I have a ticket. Do you want to come? I was like, absolutely.
Yes.
And so I immediately booked the flight. I had miles, so like it
Nice.
was all free. Love that.
Amazing.
I am staying with somebody. Free. Love that. And I'm also going to Disneyland on there.
No.
Fabulous.
Perfect.
But I literally spent the past week making a new outfit because I have to turn out. Like,
Yep.
come on.
Of course. I was just
Yeah.
going to ask, are you going to attend in drag?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Like, especially because like Drag Race is like something I would like to do one day. So just to like be there and be like, this is what you could have, like a little taste, you know, like little something. So yeah.
That's
That's interesting.
awesome.
We talked to Honey Devonport,
Yeah.
and he was a contestant on it, and he kind of gave us some insight behind the scenes, that kind of
I
thing.
was gonna say, Honey's really sweet. I actually met them. I used to live in LA.
No
Really?
way.
Yeah, like before the pandemic, I was living in LA, and it's funny because I know y'all are Canadian.
Yeah.
And so one of my best friends, Alona Verley, she was on Canada's Drag Race season 1,
Oh.
and she was like the lip sync assassin that season. Work, bitch. But
That's amazing.
yeah, no. So when you live in LA, like you basically meet like every Rue girl, every Dragula girl, every girl who's been on something. You've met them, and they're all like, oh, I can't say that. Some of them are nice.
Okay, nice. So what made you move to Dallas?
So I'm born and raised in Dallas.
Okay.
I moved there I moved to LA in 2019, but the pandemic happened. I worked there for a year, and both my parents are over 60. And like, do you remember at the beginning of like coronavirus, they were just like, if you're over 50, like this will kill you. So for me, it was just like, y'all don't get to leave the house. Like I fully just like came home, and this was when it was like a 2-week period.
Yes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
2 week turned into like me just basically moving back. I'm trying to get back out to LA, but like Dallas has always been home. I love it here. So I'm happy that I am here at the moment.
The Gayborhood's amazing.
Oh, I love the Gayborhood. We have a great gay scene here. I also just love that it's a strip.
Yes.
Like literally you can go like, oh, what club are you at? Okay, work. I'll meet you across the street in like 5 minutes. Like it's so easy.
It's like a mini Vegas. This is what I tell.
Oh, yeah.
When we first moved here, I was so amazed and so thrilled. I literally went out every weekend.
Oh, really?
Every single weekend I was out.
So I listened to the episode y'all did with Bleach, and I heard the first weekend y'all went out, y'all went to this club, and it was like a total bust.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. What
we
club was
told
that?
her. Yeah.
But that was
we'll tell you after
Yeah,
the
we could
show.
I'm so messy. And like, say their name.
I know we didn't.
Well,
say
it was a
on
straight
that
club.
episode. It was a straight
It
club.
wasn't
That
a
was
gay
your
club.
first mistake.
I don't totally hate on. Okay, there's no beating the Gayborhood. I'll just
There's
say
no
that.
beating
There's no a gay club is just where it's at. It's fun.
Yeah. I bet say the Gayborhood is just one of those places where you can literally just like let loose
Totally.
and just like have the best time of your life. Where like, I don't know, especially as like a queer person who goes to a straight club, I always feel uncomfortable. So I'm like, anytime my friends are like, you want to come to Deep Ellum? I was like, have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
I'll go
we've
get
heard.
food with you, and that's about it.
even I'm like, always very uncomfortable in straight clubs. Like
Oh,
for some
absolutely.
reason, I don't know why. I
'Cause we're
feel so,
gay.
yeah, I feel so out of place.
Like we're not welcome. It's funny because especially like I get really frustrated with this in the sense of like how straight people come and they're like, especially like more so girls in the sense of like that allyship where they're just like, but it's so like easy and fun. If you want to be an ally, stop bringing your boyfriends.
That's true.
Like stop.
That's
They're not
true.
welcome. I don't care. Like straight people are not welcome into my spaces anymore. Well, mostly straight males.
Yeah.
If you're a girl, like I grew up with like a family of women. I've grew up around women my whole life. That's cool. But when you bring like the bros in, like it's not fun.
Yeah.
Like
I've heard that the straight guys like to go there because the straight girls that are there, their guard's a little bit down. because
And
they're
that's
not
even
expecting to
creepier.
get
That
her.
is creepier.
like
Okay.
leave them alone.
Yeah.
Like women already have to deal with enough. They don't need to deal with you in a gay space.
Right.
So true.
Fair enough.
Like I also just have like I guess like my own like opinions on like boyfriends in clubs because I was once jumped by a girl's boyfriend in a club.
No.
I was jumped in TMC.
No.
Yeah.
What the
I
fuck?
don't like TMC. Chris Sapphire from season 1 of The Circle was telling us that's his favorite club here in Dallas. I went to check it out and I was like,
Well, maybe you went on the wrong day though.
it's possible.
I about to say like that used to be like my hunting playground like back when I was in like my early 20s. Now that I'm like maturing, 27. I really love Roundup.
Yes.
I love
Roundup's
Roundup,
like,
too.
especially my home. Like I work there. I love it there. Everyone there is so sweet. But
Wait. Hold up. You work there?
yeah, I'm there.
Can you tell us where you work?
Yeah, so I work at Roundup. I'm normally there every Wednesday. Over the past few months, I've had like, you know, my life kind of fall apart. So I'm just like taking a step back. That like I just told y'all before we came in, I was like, this is the first time I did my makeup in like 2-3 months. So
And you look fabulous.
thank you.
Amazing.
I had to practice for the filming tomorrow. I was like, wait, how do I do this again? You know?
I was watching the Gwyneth Paltrow trial. Have you guys watched it?
I've only seen like memes people have made where she's like drinking her like water or something.
I don't know why everyone came for her so bad.
I don't understand. Like, I honestly, first of all, don't know what's going on. But like, honestly, when I saw her, like when I first saw the clips, I was like, oh, is this like a new like Netflix movie? Like, I was just like, oh, she's really acting. And I was like, oh no, this is real. Like, oh shit,
This shit's
what'd you do, Gwen?
I heard that there is a Netflix movie coming out about
With
the
her?
trial.
About the
Not with
trial?
her, but the
She already
trial.
sold the rights.
Yeah, quick things. So here, I'll just give the brief summary. She was skiing wherever the hell she was skiing with her family.
Must be nice.
And someone skied into her, like collided with her,
Oh,
but they skied into her, and then they were suing her for $300,000 of like damages and distress and whatever. And she was like, you literally skied into me. So she countersued for $1. She won the case.
wait, that's so fierce. $1?
Yeah,
$1.
just to make a point.
I
like,
love how
it was
rich she is.
Yeah, it was a symbolic thing. And she very gracefully left the courtroom after winning yesterday, tapped him on the shoulder and said, I wish you well, and walked out.
Oh,
very
that's so
glamorous.
puss.
It was
That's so puss. She's like, love your hair, hope you win. And she's walked away. Have you ever heard that?
yes.
Okay, good. I was about to say it's very that. Like,
That
Anyway,
is very
I don't,
bad.
and everyone's coming for her being like, why did she countersue? Why didn't she settle with him? I'm like, why should she?
because someone ran into her and are suing her for something they did.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Internet needs
Yeah.
to take a chill pill sometimes.
People are such haters.
Oh,
People
yeah.
are haters.
Like, what's the precedent there? Like, every rich person should just settle because they can.
Right. It's $300,000. Like, I know, like, that's a lot of money to me, but to her, I know that's not, like, the most amount of money, but that's still $300,000. Like,
That's a lot.
I get if he was, like, maybe, like, you were in the way. You shouldn't have been there. Like, but even then, like, dude, you just knew you were just trying to get your bag.
He was trying. Yeah,
Totally.
he's full of
That's
shit.
what it feels like.
I'm on her side.
I've been
Yeah.
seeing the clip going around, maybe because of the trial, of her doing an interview sharing what she eats in a day, and people
I saw
roasting
that.
it.
Yes, that was funny because then like I saw one of the clips and it was what's that pageant movie where it's like the girl in her bed and she's basically like the one with like the eating disorder
I'm not sure.
because like she was like Gwyneth Paltrow was like yeah so like I run and then I drink a lot of water and then I drink bone broth and like that's my meal and it's everyone's like you're starving yourself like mama just
God.
eat.
I get that, but I feel bad for her because I feel like the clip got taken out of context. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, so basically, like it's exactly
It's
as
her
you
like
described.
regimen of like what she does throughout the day.
I think she was trying to give an overview of like some ideas where she's like, I have a lot of soup for lunch. I like bone broth. I try to eat paleo for dinner. I eat a lot of vegetables, and then people kind of like interpreted it to be like she just drinks bone broth and eats vegetables, and I was like, I feel like we're reaching here, but like,
I mean,
whatever.
let her do her thing. Like she looks like a supermodel. Work like. I don't care. Like she doesn't look unhealthy.
Right.
She, if anything, is like the embodiment of health.
Yeah.
Like, I feel
Being
like
a
all she does is-
supermodel
yeah.
was like praised up until 5 seconds ago.
Well, I
Now
feel like it's
everyone's
coming
upset.
back. I feel like in the sense of like everyone is like losing their BBLs and getting like ultra thin.
That's true.
Like what's
Yeah.
that drug that's going around that Ozempic?
yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Did you see the pictures of like Gaga when she was on the was it the Grammys that happened or the Oscars?
Yeah, it was the Oscars.
And everyone was like, Lady Ozempic, because she got real snatched real quick. And I was like, honestly, slay. Like,
Yeah, that's what people were saying about Mindy Kaling.
yes. Oh my God, she is so tiny.
Doesn't she look great?
She looks, honestly, again, stunned.
I mean,
I
I'm
hate
not
to commend
promoting-
like people losing weight, but I'm just like, work, bitch. You look great. Like, I mean, she wanted it. Obviously, she's taking the pill or the injection.
Right. I mean, I honestly think that she's always been pretty, like
Oh,
at
yeah.
any size. I think she's stunning.
Her face is like so symmetrical.
Yes.
And just like she's such great brows too. She's really beautiful.
She's so pretty and funny. I feel like if you're funny, you're like better looking a little bit.
I agree with that.
Just a tiny bit.
Like I've met some like really hot guys who are like ugly as soon as like they're not funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like where you're like, now I'm not hard. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it's like you, or they're just like too dumb to the point where they're like funny and then I love it again. I'm like, oh yay, you're just stupid.
Why don't you give us a little insight into dating in Dallas versus LA?
Please.
And why you got jumped in
Okay.
a club. Let's loop back to all
Okay,
that.
so I would say the difference between dating in Dallas and LA, like it's really funny. I feel like everyone's like LA is so like difficult. Like all the gays there are the same, like yada yada yada. But I feel like, and I'm probably gonna get hate for this, that's how the scene is here. Like I always compare Dallas to maybe like New York in the sense where it's like a very corporate type of gay, where it's like all the businesses are here. So you're not getting like your artistic individuals like you would in LA. Like, especially me being like out of drag, I'm like a little fuller figure, I'm thicker. And in Dallas, like if you don't basically look like a Ken doll or have like an ab, like you're not considered masculine.
Interesting.
It's more so the term masculine here. Like in LA, even when I was like living in New York, like it's like they didn't care that you were feminine. They didn't care that you were thicker. Like, but here in Dallas, it's just so like, if you don't look like a Ken doll, then like I'm not interested.
wow. Interesting.
And that's personally how I feel about it. But
Okay.
I mean,
I mean, even when I go to Austin, I get more luck than I do here. You know what I mean?
I've heard really good things about Austin.
Have you never been?
Never been.
You need to go to Austin.
Yes.
You need to take a day trip while you're in Austin and go to San Marcos
Okay.
and do like float down the river.
Ooh.
Like bring a cooler.
Can I
bring
get wasted?
Yes.
Okay.
It's so much fun. Let's go do it.
I'm
yeah,
down.
I was gonna say maybe you guys should
I will
go.
show
I
you
found my
out.
partner.
Yeah, let's do it. I
Partner
will
in
show you
crime.
out. I'm about to say the gay clubs in Austin are also like so cute. Like they're just like on another level. They're like 2 or 3 stories,
Ooh.
lights everywhere, great music. Like
I feel like that's dangerous for me. Blackout and wasted.
you're like,
fall
yeah.
in the stairs.
Just having the best time.
I will say, back in our hometown, I remember one of these clubs I was at. It was out of the fucking upstairs, and somebody fell down. They went to the hospital, and I've been scarred ever since.
You can't trust gays and heights. Like you really can't. And alcohol, that's just
True.
honestly a really bad combination. Like that sounds like a lawsuit just waiting to happen.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Jeez.
But I mean, yeah, I haven't had much luck here in the Dallas gay scene, so I had to go overseas.
How long have you been here?
A year.
Okay, work.
Yeah.
Where overseas did you go?
Oh, no, where I just met a boy in Mexico who's actually from Europe,
Oh, I love that.
and now we're dating.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. So
I was
that's
gonna say that happened to my like boyfriend Tommy. He went to like Europe and like met the man of his dreams. And now every time they're in the same city because they're like both rich and fly around, they just fuck. I'm like, good for you.
Ooh,
I'm like, that's the life.
that is the life.
That's being gay also.
It's so true.
yeah, I have to have immigrants do everything.
It's true.
Date
Yeah.
It's
Chris,
true.
Nobody
It's
local.
true.
I mean, America's already making immigrants do everything. So like you might as well just apply the same thing that America does and just use it in your own dating life.
Right.
Because you'll probably find like a better man out there than you will here in America. Sorry.
I think I did.
So speaking of America, something that only I feel like it's only an American show. I'm not 100% sure. I was
What?
watching old reruns of Extreme Cheapskates.
Oh,
guys ever seen
yes.
Is that the
show?
couponing one?
Yes.
No, it's not the like that is such a good show too.
Yeah.
Which is very American also.
Where they like
Couponing.
where they break the machine because they're like, we owe you $40, but the machine broke, so just give us an hour.
Yeah.
Right. No, so this is the one where it's like people go to these crazy lengths to save money. Like some people will like, and people who actually have the means will like pick food out of garbage or whatever they do.
Do you have something against that?
No,
No, I'm kidding.
Not at all. But I was going to say, obviously that's an extreme, but it got me thinking, because I know you're pretty money savvy.
Well,
Like what
I like a deal.
what is
I don't
your
coupon. I don't
biggest
coupon, though. Like I don't have time to.
No, I'm not calling you out for being a couponer. I just mean like
So why you
probably
cheat?
have
No
some-
kidding.
I just love a deal.
I was just
Same.
wondering what would your guys' advice be, or like biggest money saving tip or trick or something that you do where you can kind of cut corners a little bit.
Download Honey.
Ooh, what's that?
That's okay. So it's an app, and like you can install. I feel like I'm like doing an ad. Like install Honey in your browser.
Sponsored by Honey.
Right. Pay me.
But not. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's basically like you can type in like any store you're shopping on, and it'll show you. It'll like scour the internet for coupon codes. So it kind of gives you all the coupon codes for like all your favorite sites to be like save 20%, save 30%. I've gotten like free shipping on things before. So it's like. I love, but before that, like before Honey was a thing, I would always like go online and be like coupon codes for like Urban Outfitters, and I'm just like buy, and I would save like 40%.
That's smart.
Yeah,
Just a little bit of effort.
When we try this couponing thing, we're gonna get Honey.
there you go.
Yeah.
And then
we
you should make
wanted
them
to do
sponsor
that.
the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That's a great idea.
We want to do this like
Extreme
episode
couponing.
where we attempt to extreme coupon
Love it.
and see like, are we left with like $1,000 grocery bill, or like can we manage to like knock it down?
They're like, so we scanned all your coupons and they're all expired, and you're just like, well, fuck.
Who's paying for this?
As you're just like, you'll just run out the store, just run as fast as you can.
So yours would be Honey. What
yes.
about you? What would be?
Sign up for Costco. I fucking love Costco.
Costco.
Okay,
I
so like
absolutely love
bulk
Costco.
shopping.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
but
hell
they have
yeah.
great pricing.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying bulk shopping would
Yeah.
be your thing.
I mean, in this day and age, you kind of have to.
But I have
you
an
never know when to
issue.
run out of toilet paper or water.
That's true. That's true. I do have an issue though. Like I have some weird issue where like if I find something and I like it, I need to buy a shit ton of it.
Yeah,
I feel that.
You were saying that.
It's weird. It's the weirdest thing, and I don't know. I
Also,
the
like
deal.
if like you're online shopping, if you just add stuff to your cart and like run away, they will send you a promo code.
they will.
They will fully be like, we want you to buy this. Or also like I have a spam junk for like all my like online shopping, which is an issue. But hey, when you have Klarna and you can cut that shit into 4 payments. Okay, so first of all, I need to be sponsored by Honey, now Klarna.
I see that sometimes at the bottom.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, breaks your payment into 4 payments, no interest, no anything, and it takes it every 2 weeks.
that's
Okay.
actually smart.
I'm too scared to do that. I
Why?
feel like I would just lose.
That's dangerous for you.
Yeah, I would lose total track of it.
That's where I'm like, okay, you know what? You can't buy anything this week because you bought something last week and you bought something the week before. Like, take a break.
That you're gonna pay for it the next 2
Yes.
weeks tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like every 2 weeks, I get like my paychecks, so I'm like, it balances out over time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not living like too crazy, you know. But
we love that.
like today, like I was online shopping Makeup by Mitchell, and he was having a 50% off sale.
Ooh.
And there's this like liquid highlighter that he has that I'm like obsessed with. And I was like, well, it's only $7. I'm like, I should get 4. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Ooh.
if something's on sale that you love, buy it ahead of time.
Have
Yeah.
to.
Because
to.
like, if you're like, oh, but it's extra money, it's like, okay, but if you love it and you're going to buy it again, like, do you want to buy it at full price? No.
No.
You're saving money.
Hello.
I agree. That's kind of my logic too.
Yeah.
That's why I don't give people money saving advice. I'm like, people are like, what do I do to save money? I'm like, stay home. I
The
don't know.
world's ending. Spend your money.
Yeah, exactly. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
YOLO.
YOLO.
Clear.
Yeah.
So, do you do any drag performances here in Dallas?
Yeah, like I said, I performed at Roundup, and
I
then I
have
also
Never seen a show at Roundup.
I was just
Oh
gonna
my
say,
God.
I
Never.
didn't realize
they
that
have
did.
shows on Tuesdays. They have Totally Tuesdays. Now Roundup needs to sponsor me. Totally Tuesdays at Roundup. On Wednesdays we did have Pinche and Friends. Pinche is a really good drag queen friend of mine. She's moving to New York. I love you so much. So like actually last night was her last show. It was really emotional.
Aw.
And then on Tuesdays now we have Whose Game Is It Anyway? And this is like where like my introduction to Roundup was, like when the first time they're like, we went on cast on Wednesdays, and basically like each week is a theme, and we only do one number, but then we're also playing like games with the audience. And so like the winners of the games can win like, by the end of the night can win like $100 or like drink tickets, or like we also just have like sometimes like really fun prizes, like movie tickets. Like when the Scream came out like 2 years ago, they gave out Scream tickets. Like there's just like a bunch of cool stuff like that out.
Shit, we need to go.
And then on Thursdays they have the Showdown. And then on Fridays they do the Drag Race viewing party.
I've been on a Thursday.
Okay, work.
That was a showdown for sure.
Okay, so you have seen something. Was
It
there a
wasn't,
drag
it wasn't
show?
drag. It wasn't drag. Was it drag?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
it should have been.
So maybe you were
Wait,
there
was
too
it like
early.
audience interaction with drag queens? Because that's what they do at the end of the show.
No.
Oh.
It was a Thursday, and it was like people like cowboy dancing.
Oh no, so you got there early.
Oh,
I
okay.
was gonna say the drag shows start like at 11.
Okay. Yeah.
And by like drag standard, that's 11:30. But before that, they do like square dancing.
Yes, that's what
they do line dancing.
That's what we saw, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Roundup is so fucking country.
It is, but
It's
I love
so fucking
that.
country.
I love that.
Yeah, same. Honestly, it's kind of great. Reminds me of my family.
Yeah.
Can
But
you
okay.
give us any drag brunch recommendations?
Oh my gosh, yes. Anywhere that Macarena or Emeka Bliss are throwing like a drag brunch, go to it. It's gonna be the best one. They always have the best girls. It's always at the best venue. The View, Emeka Bliss hosts.
I was there.
Everything.
When you went to?
This is the one.
Did you meet
we went
Emeka?
to. Oh my god, there were so many. There were like 5 drag queens there, plus a stripper.
So
a male
I know
stripper.
the strippers are beautiful there.
Yeah,
Emeka's the host. She's like the little Mexican with like.
she is so fucking funny.
Oh yeah.
She's hilarious.
No, she's everything.
I
She's so
love
sweet.
her.
She's also really good at stoning costumes. I pay her to stone mine because I'm too lazy.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Well, I also just don't have the patience.
We Amira was out of town, but my now boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
we went there and we had a fucking blast. Like all the queens were amazing.
So I haven't been there yet.
Oh.
She's gonna have me there like either this month or next month. But everything I've seen there is like, well, also from what I've heard from her, it's also queer owned, which
Oh,
is
is it?
everything.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know
which
that.
a lot of like bars in Dallas, like some of them are queer owned, but this one is like a fully gay like establishment, especially and like they're just doing it really right compared to other places that I've worked at. Like when
Okay.
it like especially like Queens, like we talk. Like we'll be like, no, don't go perform there. Like they're awful. Like they'll take your tips. Like this and that, this and that. So like to have a queer owned like run drag show, which does not happen often, because especially like during the pandemic, like drag brunches popped up everywhere because it was one of the few things you could like kind of like make up for on spacing and actually bring people in. And so a bunch of places after the pandemic started doing drag brunches. But this is the thing. We saved a lot of these places. Like this amount of like drag brunches that I've performed at where you see how booked it is. But then they're like, okay, we're only going to pay you $50 in tips.
What? That's a scam.
No, yeah. It's like,
That's bullshit.
we're bringing like, you know how much alcohol we're selling? Like
a lot.
the number one thing a drag queen is an alcohol promoter.
Mhm.
Right.
Because where are we performing without alcohol, except for like at a children's like library reading? But even then we're drunk. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things, like especially like now that she's doing this at the View and she's doing that, it's amazing. Also, Macarena, her show at Bloom. If you want to go to a great venue, Bloom literally feels like you're in a WWE ring.
No.
It's
Oh my
such a
God.
big venue and like they do it right. So I
Okay.
definitely recommend that. And they have shows both on Saturdays and Sundays. So you have no excuse now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is
Perfect.
fine.
Done.
Since you brought up the kids' library readings,
Yes.
what's your opinion on that, and why do you think it's like causing so much controversy?
What is happening in Tennessee?
Oh, Mama, it's not Tennessee. It's everywhere. Like, we're, as usual, just used as a scapegoat to hide from a bigger issue. This happened during, like, the AIDS epidemic. It was, like, AIDS, gays are to blame. It's like, no, like, people are having sex, like, period. Like, straight people. Actually, like, the number one carrier of HIV and AIDS are women. But, of course, like, no one wants to talk about that because, like, why?
Right.
No one's to blame at that.
Right.
Gay people, like, especially, like, like, when they say church and state, like, shouldn't, like, are, like, separate, they're not.
Of course not.
Because like then why do you keep bringing shit up like this? Like it's like, oh, like, but I feel like it's our moral obligation by God. We're not doing that. We're in America. We left because of religious freedom. Like no, it's so stupid. And especially like with everything going on, like I've like done shows where kids are at them. I don't care. I wish I saw somebody performing like and doing what I do at a very early age. Like it just made like I've been doing drag since I was like literally a child. Like I played with my grandma's wigs. Like I always did my makeup. Like I always just like I'm like especially throughout my career I've like adapted skills to be like okay cool like I can basically be my own Barbie doll. And like I remember like the way that I kind of found out really what drag was because of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like really bullied a lot growing up and I would stay home a lot. And I'd be like, like, I'm sick. Like, oh, I don't want to go to school. And one of the like few times I did that, okay, not few, I did a lot. One of the times I did that, the first episode ever of RuPaul's Drag Race premiered on, I want to say it was MTV or VH1, but they were played at like 10 a.m. where it was like they were just filling a slot. But it was like promoted for Logo, but they just like, again, they're owned under the same umbrella. So they would just play it. And I just remember like seeing that very first episode and being like, that's me. And so just for like, especially like I feel this generation underneath of us is already so queer.
Yeah.
Especially just like when you see like, did you see like the people in Tennessee who like all the students in Tennessee who showed up and like rallied, and they're all kids.
Yeah.
Like people our age aren't even doing that. And so the fact that these kids like have the balls to be like, no, this isn't okay. Like people are people. We're all living. You're just mad. And you're wanting us to take blame again for like the act. Like there's so much real shit happening in the world. Like, why are things so expensive? Are we still not going to figure that? Why is like minimum wage so low? Like there's so many real problems. But no, like we're going to focus on like the gay people in wigs who may or may not do a story time hour. Because like, let's be real. I think like every drag queen, like we didn't go in with like the mentality of like, you know what? I want to be a child's like inspiration.
Yeah.
That was never it. Like we want to do it because we're in it for ourselves. We're very selfish people. The only difference between like us and like religious like selfishness is like we own up to it.
Right. But do you see, I agree with most of what you just said, but do you see why people might be upset? Just like what would even make somebody want to do a show? And for the story time, I think it's really more toddlers. I totally get what you're saying, that I feel like kids that are, you know, exploring their sexuality and stuff like that, they need representation too. And they need like the room to be able to grow and explore. But when it comes to toddlers, people are just kind of questioning like, well, you wouldn't bring toddlers to a strip club or a burlesque show.
But you take them to Hooters and like,
do they?
oh my God. Like
I've never been to a Hooters.
I think
oh
they
girl,
do.
first of all, I love Hooters. Great
Really?
wings. Oh, I love going there. Also, like, I feel like when you're a gay and you go to Hooters, like you're like it's always gonna be a waitress. And like once they figure like they're like, oh wait, you're a homosexual, they're like, we can vibe now. Like I don't have to put on the I'm Brittany, I'm gonna like shake my boobs and like you're gonna buy beer. I'm like, no, Brittany, you look like you're everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, where did you get your hair done? It looks great. Can I get the 12-piece wings? Thank you. Bone in and extra ranch. Thank you.
So true.
Like
Are the bones good there? The wings? That's what everyone.
I've never been.
I've never been.
I also
either.
just think like in that same topic of the sense of like you see like how it's like kind of like they don't want their toddlers in it. I'm like, we brainwash kids from like the day they're born. Girls wear pink, boys wear blue. Like that's just like it's the brainwashing starts from like day one. So for people to be like, it's not kid appropriate, it's like, okay, as a parent, you have that right to choose. Not everybody has to take like we're not saying bring your kids to the show. We need to see them. No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everybody has a choice. You can
Yeah.
bring your kid to whatever you want. So I have no problem with any of it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like, again, like the shows that I've been to where people like bring their kids, like the kids are having so much fun.
Well,
because-
kids love any type of stimulation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
they see us and like, especially like I feel like the most times I do see them are at brunches because no one's bringing their kid to the club at 11 o'clock.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So first of all, the idea of like kids in like an adult environment is like really dumb to me because when it's a brunch, I think like we all know, like, let's not do something too crass. Like we'll make like a dick joke.
Yeah.
Like we'll be sexual, but it won't be as much as we can do in a club where we're surrounded also by adults. Like we're drag queens. One of the things that we're masters in is reading the room. And like there have been times like I've been in a show where like we'll see a kid in the audience, we'll be like, hey, like, you know, we'll all talk about it. We'll be like, hey, like make sure like no one does anything like this. Like drag queens will like catch themselves before anyone else will. And especially when it comes to, again, this like really big hate on drag queens, the first like people to stand up and be like, no, that's not okay is us. Like a few years ago, we had a queen in Dallas who is like really popular. I'm not going to name their name, but we all found out they were basically messaging multiple people who were very much like well under 15 years old.
Oh, okay.
And like being like, and so as soon as that leaked, that person didn't work anymore. Like we're the first people to cut that out.
Yeah.
But if that was to happen at the Catholic Church, they'll just move the priest over.
Yeah, it's true.
Like this girl doesn't do drag anymore. Like people know the name, people know the girl name, people know the boy name. Like we don't work with those people. So we're like the first to be like, that's not okay. Bye.
Yeah. I died when Bleach was on, and she was like, if we see a fucking kid in the audience, we're not like, yippee-hoo. We're like, fuck that shit.
No, seriously. I'm like, oh God. But also like I do love kids.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I like my mom's a school teacher. Like I grew up like around kids my whole life. Like anytime I see a baby, I just want to squeeze them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, Michelle.
Oh my
fuck
God,
face.
babies are so cute.
Oh my God. I work at a makeup store and
What makeup store?
I work at
Can you
Sephora.
No way.
Yeah, I'm
What
like-
are the discounts like?
For employees.
Yeah.
So
Is it 50?
I mean, no,
I'm
sometimes. So okay, so like our like normal discount is 30% off.
Yes.
That's
Sephora
pretty good.
collection 40% off. And then sometimes like throughout the year, like we'll have like Hourglass is doing an additional 30% off. So like, and anytime there's a sale, you can stack your discount on that sale. So like there are times like it really be like, you know what I mean?
Right, like because their sales coming up for like VIB Rouge, like their spring sale.
Yes.
So you can stack your employee sale on top of that.
Actually, I don't know. Like, because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. For that one,
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it will because the most like amount of discount, I think like in the Rouge sale is 25%, and I already get 30% off. So it's like, I think it's like one or the other in that case. But when it's like, you know, this one specific lipstick is on sale for like 40% off, then you can stack it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I don't want to be shady.
No,
But-
no, be shady. I love it.
Okay. I used to go to Sephora a lot to get my makeup done.
Oh, work.
Like regularly.
Yeah, I'm one of the makeup artists there.
Okay. Not everyone's a makeup artist, I don't think.
Nope.
Okay.
Not everyone can be a doctor. Not everyone can be a makeup artist. Not everyone can be a drag queen. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
stick in your lane. But
So, yeah, I've had like a couple of times where I'm just like,
who is that girl I see?
I'm not super skilled at makeup. I can do like my basic everyday makeup, but for any occasion or something like that, I
Right.
get it done. And
love that.
when I walk out and I'm like, I could have done it, like we have a problem.
Oh, that's like
There's
the
a
worst
problem.
feeling. No, I know that feeling, like in the sense like when I get stuff commissioned, because like I'm a professional sewer. Like I went to school for fashion design in New York. Like,
Wow.
yeah, like, and so when I get costumes made, and there are times like I receive them, and I know how much I paid. So it's just like I could have done this myself. You know, it's not a great feeling.
Yeah.
So like
You should sell your own stuff.
You need to tell me your Sephora shift because I want you to give me
I
like
will
a full. I want to be
love
like
to paint
B.
you. Because
Like,
you and I have
full.
very similar face shapes.
Okay.
So I feel like I could just like
I would love it. I would love for you to do my makeup.
Let's
all
do
out.
it.
And I'm not scared of a lot of makeup. I know some like.
I
even
don't
though
wear a lot of makeup.
I'm not scared of it though. I want.
You should go to you should go to work in drag.
Oh my God, you know how much like effort that would be?
Oh, okay.
People always say that like, oh my God, you should do this in drag. I'm like, first of all, like right now I don't have a corset on, but I have like 3 forms of shapewear on. Just to
Really?
look,
What's
you know what I mean?
brand? What's your brand recommendation? What's your go-to shapewear?
Oh my God. So right now I'm wearing 2 of like the knockoff like Skims from Amazon that work
Okay.
just as well.
I've heard great things about that.
Oh, I saw them on TikTok, and I'm sorry. Like, if you see anything on TikTok, and if there's like over 5 people who says it's A1, it's A1.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, I need it. And again, it's like I'm an instant person, so the fact that I can just go on Amazon and prime it and get it, and like sometimes my favorite is when it's just like, do you want it tomorrow? I'm like, yes, I do.
I do.
See, sometimes I'll do that, and then I don't go to my front desk to get it for like another 3
Oh
days.
shit. Or even like when they're like, do you want it tonight by 7? I'm like, what? I feel like I'm on like a dating app. I'm just like, oh my God, you can be here that quick. Like,
Thank you, Amazon.
Yeah. Thank you, Daddy Bezos.
Yes.
You order a lot on Amazon too.
A lot.
Do you Prime everything?
I don't have Prime, but it literally comes in 2 days.
Girl, how do you not have Prime?
I don't know.
The benefits of having
I
Prime.
should.
One
I go to
of
Whole
the
Foods
money
too.
saving tips you have is don't get it.
No, I should get
Oh,
it.
you
I should get it.
Okay.
I love Prime. I love anything where like I know like the shop app where it's like you can link up all your like emails and it will basically tell you like when your stuff is gonna get there. It gives you track of everything, but it'll even keep track of your Amazon stuff. And to me, as somebody who's like, have you ever like taken a flight where like you can see the plane like over America?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like you're like, where are we now? That's how I want to be with my like my stuff that I buy. I'm like, where is it? I'm like, where is it? Oh, it's in Tennessee. Great.
Oh my gosh. So I wanted to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
do you have any favorite reality TV shows?
Oh my God, yes. So I, in this past like 3 months of like depression, I have binge watched, I want to say, removing like maybe like 7 seasons because they're not available on Hulu. I'm on cycle 22 of America's Next Top Model.
Oh,
No
damn.
way. We
I
were just talking about that show
li-
today.
were.
Love that show so much. That is a show that was like, yes, I'm a faggot. Like, I fully was like, I want to be Mr. and Miss J when I grow up. Like, they taught me how to runway walk. They taught me how to smize. Like, oh my God. And also that show is just so incredibly unhinged.
Right.
Because it was
so long.
Oh, baby. Like the fact that like you're being able to watch like the early 2000s become the 20 teens until like, yeah, like I would say like 2015 to watch the evolution of like, it's kind of great because it's like a Barbie doll, like in the sense of like if you get a Barbie from like the 60s, it's a time capsule. You see like the fashion, like what they're wearing, what people are looking at, and they make so many references to the time that you're like, oh yeah, that was big.
Right.
Like, I love that show so much. And Tyra Banks is like my everything.
Love her.
Okay. I feel like she got a lot of backlash in more recent years over the show and some of the
That's because people
toxicity.
want to like just argue for the sake of arguing. Like,
Right.
I also like don't think people understand, especially going to fashion school. The fashion industry is probably one of the most difficult, and the fashion and beauty industry is just hard, period. Regardless of like how accepting everything is now, like you will hear things that you're going to be like, okay, like remember, like this is to help you at the end of the day, not make you feel like shit.
Right.
And I feel like growing up, like I was a dancer, I went to theater school, like I went to Booker T here in Dallas, which is like the performing arts school. And so like I've constantly been around critique my whole life. So when to me, like when I was watching Top Model growing up, I'm like, well, that's normal. Like when I take dance class, like your dance teacher's gonna be like, don't do that. Like it looks bad. So they're doing the same thing. And like, I mean, maybe in the earlier seasons when they're like, this is how much you weigh, that was a little too much. But again, they're models. Like at the time, that's what they were doing.
I was going to say it was the era, like a different era before everyone was like, everyone gets a trophy.
Right.
Everyone's pretty.
Well, did you?
And that's why I love it so much.
Right.
They're like, you're garbage. Thank you for taking pictures with us this week. You can go home now. Love it.
I really enjoy that kind of stuff too.
No, yeah, like rip the Band-Aid. Like, have you seen 100% Hotter on Netflix?
No.
No.
Oh my god, it's a UK reality show, and it's where they take these people who, in their opinion, are just bumfuck ugly.
Really?
Oh my god, and like they'll be like, "This is Marissa. She's from like Upper London," and like, and then they'll fully just be like. And they'll make them just look so drab, and they'll do like one of those like quick like camera pans around them where they're just like looking like all awkward and shit. And then they're like, so we took your picture and we went up to like 100 strangers and we asked them if you were hot or not. And this is what they said. And it's all these brutally honest strangers being like, nah, I wouldn't fuck her. She ain't no, like, and they're just again like no filter. And then they give them like a whole makeover, and then they go back to the streets, and they're just like, so like, would you like, how do you think they're attractive? Like, oh my god, they're so beautiful. Like they really hype them up, and then by the end of the show, they're like, we did our job. You're now 100% hotter, and it's literally about just making them hot to like mainstream like norms like beauty standard.
I know who's coming on the pod next. Some of these guests.
I know what I'm doing tonight is watching this
Yes.
show. While you're flying to LA, I'm going to go home and watch this once I put my babies to bed.
No, do it. It's so like they're just so like I'm like, oh poor thing. They're like, yeah, so your hair is falling out. How do you feel about that? It's like,
Oh my god.
like, they think Tyra Banks is bad. Like,
What was that other show? What Not to Wear? Did you ever watch that?
I love that show.
Me too. It was so hard to watch though sometimes because I was just like, is it fake? Like, is that really what she's
You're
doing?
like, what the fuck are you wearing? And let me tell you, it probably wasn't. Especially working in a mall most of my life. You sometimes see people and you're like, that's what you did today. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I did today.
That was a decision.
yeah, very that.
Yeah, I imagine that would be fun. Just getting to like a people watch and like
Yeah.
mentally, criticize in your own mind, not bullying, but just to yourself. That would I could entertain myself, I always say to people
fully.
for a long
That's
time.
what I'm doing when I'm in the airport the whole time. I'm just gonna be looking around being like, yeah, you know
You
what I
can
mean?
always spot who's who and what's what.
It's like, oh, you didn't prepare for this trip. I see you running around. You don't even know what terminal you're at. Like, come on. You just got here. Your flight's about to leave. Like, no.
I was telling Chris, I think I might have seen a TikTok about this too. I feel like every time people travel, no matter how in advance they are at the airport, they need to walk to their terminal just to be like, okay, it's there.
It's
and then
true.
and
Oh,
then
that's
they backtrack,
so true.
And then they go get their food.
Yes.
And it's like, if did you doubt it was going to be there?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I feel like when you're in Dallas, you're kind of lucky because I feel like either if you go to DFW or
Love field.
Love Field, it's pretty like, this is the airport.
Yeah.
This is where everything is. It's very simple. But then you go to some cities and you're just like, who built this airport?
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to take a tram to get to where I need to be?
Yeah.
Take a shuttle across
Yes.
the whole place.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how we are such like a huge metropolis like area. And like we have simple airports, but yet sometimes these smallest little blimps on the map will have like the most convoluted like layouts. It's like
Chicago.
for what? New York.
Yes. New York. Well, I always fly into Newark
Okay.
which is the shittiest
Shittiest
airport,
airport
ever.
ever.
Okay.
But at least it's just like tiny and clear.
You know what airports I really love? The ones in Vegas.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yes, you can smoke over there.
And you can gamble.
Gamble too, yeah.
I always win. I always walk on a flight
Oh,
$100 richer.
I love that so much for
Go.
you. Like, cause like we're a gambling family. Like my grandma's a gambler, my mom's a gambler. I gamble here and there. I'm not stupid because I'm also very frugal, and I'm like, well, that could have bought like, a new pair of shoes, something. But yeah, no, when I was there, I was like, I have $20 in cash, and like our flight's not leaving for another, hour. So I guess I can just walk over to this little thing and like smoke like a little bit of weed and just like play. Yeah, and play. It's so much
What's
fun.
the most you've ever won playing slots?
Okay, so the first time my mom and my grandma took me to, we went to Oklahoma, and I think we went to WinStar.
Okay,
And
nice.
I was like, I only went in with $100. I'm like, this is all. And so I go in, and then I was doing really well at first. Like, I think I got up to like 260, and I was like, yes. But of course, like that, like gambling bug bit me. So I started losing it. And then I was like, no, like I'll put more money in. Like, I'll get it back. And I wasn't. And so eventually, like when I had like, again, I went up to, I think my highest, was like 2 something. And then I was like, I only have like $3 left, and I was like, cash out. I was like, this is bullshit. I was like, why is this a thing? So mad. And like, I went to my mom. My mom was killing it. My grandma was also killing it. Like my mom, and my grandma just are like very lucky people. Like my grandma, when we would take her, mind you, she would have like Alzheimer's and dementia, so she would just press the button just to have fun.
Right.
And but like sometimes like out of nowhere, she'd press like max bet and just win.
That's what you have to do.
No, yeah. So
That's
as I'm like all bitter that they're doing well, I'm like, I take my little voucher and I'm like, I'm gonna go cash out because I'm done. And as I'm going there, I see this huge slot machine, and it's like one of those ones where it's like each window is like its own TV.
Yes.
And I was like, okay. And it was $1 a spin, so I was like, okay. So I did the lowest bet I could. And I put my money in there, and I instantly won like 150. And I was like, oh, okay. And I meant to hit cash out, but what I hit, max bet.
No.
And then I won like $400 on top of that.
No.
nice.
So then like
That's amazing.
amongst everything, I think I walked away with like $650. And I was fully like, and I walked back. My mom was like, she was trying to be cute. My mom was really trying to gather me together. She was just like, oh, like, so how's like your $3? I'm like, you mean $650? She was like, what? And I'm like, I just won $650. And I show her the voucher, and I'm like, like, I was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, here's a little tip. Not that I'm promoting gambling at all.
Tell me.
But any of the brand named slot machines are always set to pay out less. Like,
Okay.
like the Ellen DeGeneres or the
Oh,
ones
yeah, no.
that are
I
set
don't
to
play
like
those.
different movies and
Yeah.
things like that, because they have to pay a fee
Yeah.
for using it.
That makes sense.
It's less likely that you'll hit a big win. So you always want kind of like those no-name, like Korean
I will say I
machines.
did win $100 went on the Britney Spears slot machine.
Okay, nice.
And that felt good.
But I just mean like major.
No, the T, I get that.
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
felt good because it was Britney Spears. Like, you know what I
That
mean?
is exciting.
But I was really disappointed when I was in Vegas, and we went to the Vegas drag show, which was like, next time you go to Vegas, go.
Which one did
We've
you go
been to one.
It's like the RuPaul's Drag Race, like drag
Oh,
show.
okay, yeah,
We didn't go to that.
we
No,
used to do
like
that.
I'm best drag show I've ever been to in my life. Like I was expecting a good show, but like they literally had these girls like jumping out of the ceiling.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, it's like an amazing show. But what I was really pissed off at was like they're gonna put all this money into this show, and it's an amazing show. It's doing so well because of that show. They have like International RuPaul's Drag Race Day in Vegas. Like they literally made it a huge thing. There's like not a slot machine for it, and I'm like, baby, where's the RuPaul slot machine?
Yeah.
RuPaul puts her name on a candy bar.
Yeah.
But she won't put it on a slot machine. Like I said, baby, I want to play that. I don't care how much money it takes. It's RuPaul.
Yeah, some celebrities are like anti
Gambling.
gambling or promoting it or whatever.
But if you have a hoe at the Flamingo Hotel, like girl,
That
and
is
like,
true.
well, their posters were also on the blackjack tables. But I'm like, I'm not playing blackjacks. I need something that sparkles and lights up, like a
agree.
slot machine.
Totally. That is
Yeah.
true.
We went to a drag show. I totally forget which one it was at.
We
Remember?
went to.
Was that at the Garden?
No, oh my god, it was so bad.
It was so
not,
bad.
No, not the drag show, just the food
be-
and everything else other than that.
Yeah.
What was it called? Senor Frog at Treasure
Oh my God.
Island.
Did Chanel take money out of your bag too? Do you know about that?
No.
Oh my God. So there was one of the hosts of the show, Chanel. There was like this huge scandal on TikTok because like I remember like seeing the first video, and it's this woman filming her, and like as a joke, she like grabs her bag and like she goes through it and she takes out money First of all, like, I don't know a drag queen who, like, in the middle of a performance takes, like, somebody's bag and takes money out. Because, first of all, like, that just is wrong on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
But then the woman was like, she took $600. And on top of, like, this is how much, like, she made this huge thing and it went viral. And, like, basically, like, they were just like, there's no way she could have taken $600. Like, the video didn't look, it was just, like, this really big thing. And it, like, put her, like, and, like, it was drama, which I live for.
Did she respond?
Yeah. Oh, and this is like one of those girls who has like she'll give you an explanation on like why this chair is comfortable. Like, you know, like somebody who can just really talk about anything.
Right.
And so this like maybe like could have been a minute video of her just being like, I'm so sorry. Like we refunded her. Like everything is taken care of. Was like a 20-minute video of her being like, I am shocked. I never thought I'd be filming something like this. Like, and then like her vocabulary is so big too. Like I only know small words because blonde. But like she's just using all these huge
So she
words.
took her moment.
Oh, she fully did.
Yeah, okay.
And she's like, and she's in her lavish house because like as like her daytime job, she like decorates for people. And so her house literally looks like a museum of like, this is how like you want your house to set up. Perfect. And so she's like in this like black robe with like this like fierce black backdrop. I'm like, you would have pulled out all the stops just to be like, this video's a lie. This woman's being a Karen. We got it taken care of. It was just so funny. But I also feel like that's drag.
Yeah.
It's like, give me 5 minutes, I'll take 20. You know what I mean?
I love cringe like interviews and things like that. Like, did you guys ever see the Queen's son, late Queen's son Andrew, doing that interview about not being a pedophile?
No.
It was so funny, kind of.
I love that.
Because he's like,
what?
Never met her. And then the interviewer's like, is this a picture of you guys? And he's like, I'd have to verify. It's like, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
but that sounds like Trump. Oh, I don't know him. I don't know
No,
her.
but like, I'm surprised that he, one, agreed to this interview, two, didn't like walk off the interview.
Right.
It was so, because then he's like, I cut all ties with Epstein. And they're like, yeah, but then after he was like a convicted sex offender, you stayed at his house for 4 days. Like, here's a picture of you guys like walking around New York. And he's like,
Gathering
I went
him.
to meet up with him to tell him that we can't be friends anymore. And then she's like, and then stayed at his house for 5 days. And his answer was, it was a convenient place to stay.
So not only did they throw that mic on the floor, they threw it at his face.
Right.
Like, they're like, I also love stupid interview moments. Like, what's your favorite dish? Have you seen that?
Oh,
Demi
yes,
Lovato?
yeah, with
What's
the-
your favorite
what
dish?
did
And
she
she's
say,
like,
cup?
I like a mug
Yeah.
because it holds hot things, but without burning you. It's like, girl, how high are you?
Yeah, obviously something happened there.
But I live.
That was funny.
Like, it was very much like a, explain your perfect date. And she's like, what was it? Like April 14th. Because it's not too hot and it's not too cold for Miss Congeniality.
Oh my God, yeah. Or what about the one with for the map where they're like, why can't a certain percentage of Americans, find different countries on a map? And she's like, because people not in America don't have any maps. And they're like, what? That wasn't the question.
My face just went from like smiling to like blank. Like, are you kidding me? You've never seen a globe before?
I've seen, yeah, exactly. It's that was a viral clip. I always wonder about those people. Can they ever live that stuff down?
No. But I mean, like, that's also what you ask for, like, being in the public spotlight.
Right.
Like, I want somebody to turn this interview into being like rose gold exposed for, like, I want that.
Can
You know what I mean?
Amber Heard ever make a comeback?
No.
No.
But like, also lean into it. Be
Yes.
the bitch. Like, that's the thing. Like, these people would own their career so much more if they just owned it. Like, if James Charles can like come through with like basically talking to children and just basically ignoring it and owning it, and people just allowed it. If you own it, no one will care anymore. It's once you stop caring. It's like when Ryan Seacrest was like ahead of the gay joke before like people can make gay jokes about him.
Right.
Like, it's like if you beat someone to the punchline, it's like, well, what do you have now?
It's true.
Like,
I always wonder.
Is he gay?
No.
he should be.
There's a huge part of the world that's like, we don't want to know what's going on in people's bedrooms. And I was like, really? Because the whole world is obsessed with outing gay people.
Well, we're
and
also
finding what
obsessed with like
celebrities are.
porn.
Yeah.
Like, like I can't watch Riverdale without there being like an orgy scene. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it happens everywhere, and they're supposed to be high schoolers. Oh, but yet drag queens are the problem. All right, okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like pick and choose your battles, people.
I wasn't even gonna go here, but since you brought up James Charles, were you following the whole like him and Tati ongoing drama?
Mama, when I tell you I lived for that shit back in like what was that 2018?
Yeah.
I was like, because that's like, again, I'm like a huge makeup person in general. Like I have like before like stuff happened like to me recently, like I had so much like makeup and like I just loved a good palette. And so just to see these people like at the time at like the height of their careers, just like dogging it out over like
sleeping or whatever, gummies,
sucking
vitamins.
dick and cock. Like that, like she will never live that down. And like I know she lives here in Dallas now.
She does?
Yes. So
oh my
like
God, I'd love to have her on.
she's been at the Sephora
Oh.
that I work at. I haven't seen her. But
Okay.
like people are like, oh, she comes in. Like if I ever met her, I'd be like, I just want to say thank you from the gay community, because sucking dick and cock has become like probably one of the most used things that gay people send to one another. It's like, what are you doing tonight? And it's like a gif of Tati Westbrook being like, sucking dick and cock. Like, it's hilarious.
So whose side were you on in that kerfuffle? That old, years old drama?
Honestly, like, I just wanted to watch them all burn. Like, I wasn't like pro James or like pro Jeffrey or like pro Tati. I was like,
Oh yeah, I forgot. Jeffrey and like Shane
Yeah.
Dawson somehow like got all looped into this.
seriously,
Yeah.
literally like Clocksworth and Lumiere. But yeah, no, I just like, I love like watching just like chaos in front of me happen. I'm an Aries. That's what I like to do. So like just to watch things like fold out, I'm like, y'all are all stupid. Y'all have so much money and this way y'all mad at.
Do you follow Trisha Paytas?
Do I not look like Trisha Paytas? Like yeah, I love Trisha Paytas.
I love her old school stuff.
I love
especially.
how problematic she currently is. Like she literally, I think like was just dropped on the head as an adult, not as a child. And I appreciate it so much. Like she's just such a, and the fact that she also takes the time to film herself while doing it. Like she will fully be like, I'm about to have a mental breakdown. Let me turn these cameras on real quick.
Right, and like lie on the
Yes.
floor. I mean, listen, what I like about her channel specifically is you never know what you're gonna get.
No.
And that makes me excited. Like I was telling Chris, I hate a movie that like 10 minutes in, I'm like, hey, I know where this is going.
Mhm.
If
The brother did it.
Right, exactly. So that's how I feel about YouTubers too. Like it's like she always keeps you guessing. I'm like, you know, I never suspected she was gonna get engaged. Now she has a baby.
No. And her baby's name, Malibu Barbie.
Yeah.
You better work, you crazy bitch. Like when everyone's like, that's so crazy. I'm like, is it? What else did you expect from her? I'm surprised she didn't name her like Princess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
But I was like, Malibu Barbie. Like you just exceeded expectation.
Or like Marilyn Monroe or something
Yeah.
like that. What do you think of her wedding dress? She was saying she regrets it actually. So she said she was having like mental breakdown when she chose it, going through like an emo phase, and she really regrets the decision. But I loved it actually.
So I didn't see the wedding dress. What did it look like?
It was like gothic.
Was it black?
Yeah, but it was like sparkly. Like
Okay.
honestly, I liked it. Like I didn't think it was like gory goth. Like I
Right.
thought it was just different.
It was like subtle and beautiful.
yeah,
Work.
I thought so.
I wish she was still in pink. I love her in pink. Like that's why I'm wearing a pink tracksuit right now.
I love
Like,
it.
I was like, it's just a little easy something. But it's like if I wanted to have a breakdown in this, it's really easy because I can move. You know what I mean? And I think that's why she wears them.
Huh.
Can I ask you where you got your drag name from?
Yeah. So I've gone through like a few names. When I first started doing drag, I was Pamela Quinn Kyle because I was like obsessed with Batman. So I was like Pamela's Poison Ivy's like human name.
Okay.
Harley Quinn, and then like Selena Kyle's Catwoman. So I was like Pamela Quinn Kyle, and I was like, I'm that bitch. Then I went to college because I started doing drag when I was in high school. Then I went to college in New York, and I was like surrounded by fashion. And my boy name, my initials are WTF. And when my friends heard that, they're like, oh, we're changing your drag name right now. So my like drag friends in New York, they gave me the name Wilhemina Top Ford, and that was Wilhelmina Models, Top Ford Management, and Ford Models. So it was like all three of like the major model like organizations, just like, but still like relating it back to me. But then I stopped doing drag for like about a year. And when I got back into it, I was like, okay, I need a name. Like, who am I? Like, where I'm at this new point in my life, just trying to figure it out. And I was like, honestly, online shopping, shocker. And I saw a pair of rose gold boots, and I was like, rose gold. I was like, oh my God, these boots are everything. And I just looked at the name. I was like, rose gold. And I was like, oh, that's kind. And then like blunt, just because I'm a huge stoner and I'm like I'm very honest. Like I don't hide anything. So
Are you high right now?
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
No, yeah. I mean, I smoked before here, but like I consider myself like the world's like most productive stoner.
I love
But
it.
that's also because I have like huge ADD. So like if anything, it just like
Hey, do you?
takes me down a few notches.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was getting rose gold blunt. I kind of figured. Have you
Yeah.
smoked a couple blunts?
Oh, baby, I roll the best blunts. Do you smoke?
No.
Do you?
No.
Okay, so I can't roll either of you a blunt. That's fine. Just roll one for myself. But even like last night, I hung out with some friends, and when I pulled my blunt out, people who like have smoked before, they're like, "This is a great blunt. Like you have a filter in it. Like it is nicely wrapped. Like it's not sagging. It burns evenly." And I'm just like, it would be stupid if like my name was Rose Gold Blunt and I didn't know A, how to roll a blunt, or B, wasn't a stoner.
Right. So
Like,
it's like
so
a
it's-
classy blend. Very well put
Yeah,
together.
absolutely. Very expensive. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Very on brand.
Have you ever seen the gold rolling
Yes.
papers
Yeah.
and stuff?
I would like to one day come out with my like own version of those, but like them actually be rose gold blunt wraps.
Ooh,
That would be great.
That's
Like that'd be
great.
so fun.
You
But, like,
should.
I don't know business.
It's
you know
great
what I mean?
branding.
Thank you. One day.
When that happens, come back on the pod.
I got you. I got you. Oh, this is where I'll drop them. I'll be like, today it's an exclusive.
That's so fun. Well, I think we've kind of covered everything. Thank you so much for coming on the pod.
Oh wow, that was quick.
It was so fun.
That
Shorter.
was so fun.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Bestie
Yeah.
Breakdown.
It's been over an hour.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Time
god.
flies.
I know.
Y'all are fun.
Thank you
You're
so
fun.
much.
Yeah,
Wasn't that fun?
Thanks.
Thank you for coming on.
Oh my god, thank y'all for having me. I'm so excited. This has
Ugh.
like been literally so easy and fun.